Welcome to Let's Football Live, the podcast featuring candid conversations and inside stories from players, coaches, experts, and pretty much anyone associated with the hero Indian Super League. On this episode, we have Chennai FC's Anirudh Thapa.
But Anirudh Thapa might just be a bit further forward in his play this year.
FC Goa's Brandon Fernandez.
But this one from Brandon was the decider in this game.
And Hyderabad FC's Chinglensana Singh.
Well, that had to be defended desperately by Sana Singh, and the young man did his job expertly.
Thank you, Anirudh, Brandon, and Sana for joining us today. First, let's just warm up a bit, shall we? I want you guys to mentally just rewind a bit. You know, you've all had very different journeys in football, which have now brought you to this moment, all of you together as part of the Indian national team camp. But I'm sure that while growing up through age group football, you hear about, the buzz around other talented youngsters in different parts of the country. Like this player is coming out, there's a buzz around this player. So I just want each one of you to try and remember when was the first time you heard about the other two fine footballers we have with us over here, and what were your first impressions of them? Sana, I want to go with you first.
Yeah, I remember very fondly now, like when we went to Goa to play the UPC Cup, and Brandon was a household name already in that age group, under 15 Nike Cup in Goa it was held, and one name was very popular back then, even now, So Brandon Fernandez was the name, and that's a memory I have of him, because as an opponent team we used to talk about him. We used to know that he's part of the India team as well, back then under 15 Indian team.
Right.
And yeah, he was a big star back then, right now as well. So that's a memory I have of him, and of course Thapa with back in 2017 when he made it to the national team and he got into the first 11 and how well he performed, and he's a mainstay, and yeah, that's all I know about these two friends of mine.
Right. Brandon, Anirudh, how did it feel listening to such nice things being said about you by your team?
It feels good. Like Sana is speaking good about me, but Sana always tells me about that moment. Like when he played that NPC Cup, he always tells me that he remembers me playing the tournament, and it was fun. Like to play that age group, and I remember him as well. He was very short and wasn't like like how he is right now, like a beast. But those was a good. Memorable moment for us.
Right. And Anirudh, what about you? What were your first memories of Sana and Brandon, and what were your first impressions of them?
So I heard about Brandon when I guess I was in the AFF Academy under 16, and he was in South Africa when I heard like there's one player who is playing outside India and doing well. Obviously I hadn't seen him playing, but the first time I saw him was in Goa. I think there was some tournament was going on, and India won, and he was playing with Sahil Bhai and all.
Right. It was the Lusophonia games, right?
Yes, Lusophonia games, and he scored, I guess, a free kick and goals he scored, and that was the first moment when I saw him. And obviously, the first impression was really good. What the style he had back then, and now also, obviously.
Right. So your first impressions of each other, of course, from a distance, you mentioned that. But when you guys faced each other on a pitch for the first time, and be very, very honest with this, what were your sort of takeaways from playing against each other? Do you ever have a memory of going one on one against each other and then something happening over there?
Not really, obviously. Like we have played against each other many times, but not such memory that I remember that happened.
Right.
Something like that.
Right. I mean, it happens on a daily basis in training anyway.
Yeah.
And the fact that Sana, I don't envy you one bit, because you have to go up against the likes of Brandon and Anirudh in training on a daily basis. So do you do a good job at containing them in training?
That's a joy, as a defender, you have to play against such good players, and it's a joy, facing them and playing against them. And sometimes you're above them, sometimes they're above you. This is what makes us joy and competitive, and that's what makes training enjoyable.
Right. I mean, of course. So you are currently, of course, like you mentioned, your gym session was going on right before this, and there are of course gym sessions that happen in batches for you guys, I believe. But training generally is 11 side, or are they supplemented with small games as well in the national team camp?
Is this for me?
Yeah, Sana, go for it. You can take this.
Sana, you can speak, man. Don't worry.
Come on, man. Thapa, come on.
No, bhai.
Thapa knows better regarding the nutrition and all this. Thapa knows better. He is
Oh, is that the case?
the right man.
So Thapa, you've been told now. You've been summoned to the forum.
So no, it's nothing like that. It depends on the coach, what he wants from the session.
Right.
Sometimes it's 11v11. Sometimes we are in groups, and every day we have a different training session.
Right.
Yeah.
So now that all three of you, as members of different ISL teams, are together in the national team camp, I wanted to ask you, Brandon, how much chat and banter is there between players of different ISL teams in the national team camp? And has it ever happened that someone might not have taken to it too kindly, in a way it might have gone a bit overboard? Do you guys tease each other about ISL results?
Not really, but we have general chat, right? When we're having dinner or lunch, every meal we sit together in groups, and we obviously speak about the clubs, the moments, the good moments, the bad moments. We encourage each other. Sometimes, we tease each other, but that's how our bond is, our friendship is. Always trying to support each other, and always being positive around. That's how we are around. In the national team camp.
Right. Maurya Mandal, our good friend from Star Football, has also joined us. Maurya, how are you today?
Fantastic. Listening to these guys. Good stuff so far.
Maurya, I had an observation. Don't you feel these guys are too nice to each other? I mean, all I've heard so far is just them saying really nice things about each other and how well everyone gets along, which is, great to hear for an Indian football fan. But you need a little spice to things sometimes, right?
Yes. This brings me to a point where a few days back, Nilanjan Datta, the AFF media chief, he had said something that Anirudh is probably the most mischievous player of the lot. He doesn't look like that though. Is this true by any chance? That he's a prankster?
Oh, Anirudh Thapa. Oh, I don't know. He looks like a very, quiet guy. He's smart though, but haven't seen him doing mischief a lot of times. But sometimes he does.
So Anirudh, you clearly have a reputation to maintain, and you're not doing a very good job maintaining that mischievous reputation. You need to up your game over there.
No, I think in the club I'm doing that.
You behave in the national team setup.
Because I'm representing the country, so I have to.
We've seen your interviews, the other interviews before, Anirudh, and we can.
And also, you guys are talking about being in the gym, right? So, who spends most time in the gym amongst the three of you?
Sana always. Sometimes you'll see Sana during off time also. He'll be in the gym doing something or the other. So I think Sana is the one who is spending more time in the gym. But it's a good thing though. But he's looking well after his body and trying to improve every day. So. Yeah, he's somebody who we should look up to.
Brandon, out of all three of you, you are the eldest out of Sana and Anirudh Thapa over here. Do you ever take upon that role of elder mentor to kind of, haul them up if they go out of line, and also give them some tips in the national team camp?
In the national team camp, there is no small and big. Everybody is treated equally, and everybody is professional. Thapa is the youngest among us, and he's somebody. When you look at him, he's a very professional player. He does his things properly. We don't need to tell him anything. I think he's the one, from a different generation who can, teach the youngsters, how to be professional and how to be a, right sports person. I think even Sana is, good in his own way. he is also like very professional when it comes to training and everything. Like so here we don't have like have to tell you have to do this, you have to do that. Everybody is professional enough. They know what they have to do, and everybody is disciplined. So.
No, that's very good to hear. That's very good to hear, and again infuses confidence in processes going right in the national team camp. So while we're on the topic of playing for the national team, if I can just throw it back to last ISL season once again. Now, since we're already looking forward to the next season, it's good to rewind a bit about that. Thapa, is Sana the kind of character who has ever given you grief about Hyderabad's results over Chennai in last season? I mean, you can always turn around and say that, look, I scored against your team last season.
No, not really, but Vishal is also there, and Vishal conceded 4 goals. He was the one, talking about that last time. I conceded only because we sat in the same table. And we had a conversation. We had this conversation like few days back where Vishal was mentioning like, Olibai, you were in form and you scored some fantastic goals against me.
Yeah.
So this season, please control yourself, not against me, but rather against some other teams, because this season we are like really well prepared, and he was like, I won't concede goals from you especially.
Yeah. But what I'd like to mention over here is that in the first half of that game between Hyderabad and Chennai, in which Hyderabad won 4-1, Vishal actually had a very good performance in the first half. He made some really good saves. Do you remember that, Anirudh?
Yes, I remember, and that's what he was like shouting at us, like what you guys are doing. I'm trying to keep a clean sheet, but you guys are ruining everything.
Yeah. And I mean, of course, you have a very good off-the-field friendship with him as well. So, in very candid words, what was the reply you gave to him about that? In the most and not the sanitized version, the version that you used to tell him on the field.
So I was like, भाई हम तो मतलब कोशिश कर ही रहते हैं, बट आपका काम है गोल बचाना, तो बस गोल बचाओ आप.
ये हुई बात. So these kind of incidents kind of really I mean help people realize that at the end of the day, professional footballers, no matter if they're playing at the highest level, there is still that instinct which you build up as a youth player and as a child going through football, and your interactions with your other fellow players on the pitch are always going to remain like that, right? There is no and isn't that a good thing, Brandon? Isn't that a good thing that players can speak their minds with each other on the pitch?
Yeah, of course. It's always like that. We meet each other in the national team, and then we go and play in the clubs, and then we have to face each other. Sometimes we know the other player, but obviously they have different tactics and everything around. So I think it gets a bit tricky to read them, but it's a good challenge. It's a good thing, to face each other in the clubs, and then we play together in the national team.
Yeah, absolutely. Anirudh, what do you feel are sort of Sana's greatest qualities as a centre back? Especially when you play against him, what is the first thing that you notice?
Obviously, like he's strong, tall, strong, and one of the good qualities he has is like he's a ball player. He can pass well. He can be a player who can start the game from behind. Obviously, we need such defenders who can put good passes in the middle or through the wings, and he's one of the players who we look up to, who can do these things on a regular basis on the match days.
Yeah. Okay, Sana. Anirudh was saying some very good things about you,
and also bad things.
I don't expect that. He is a good friend of mine, so he wouldn't do that.
Come on, Sana, we all are good.
I know you are.
But I have a lot of bad things to say about
it. That's if it helps me improve, I'm ready to listen.
I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Don't worry.
Yeah, brother. I think.
But yeah, Sana, we were talking about your new deal with Hyderabad FC.
Yeah, it was not a difficult decision to make because I was enjoying my football in Hyderabad FC, and under coach Manolo Marquez, I learned a lot, and I know for the fact that I can improve and learn a lot under him. So it was a very easy decision, and the kind of faith and trust that Hyderabad FC put on me and the responsibility that they were offering me was very welcoming to me, and I think it was the right thing for me to keep improving and keep progressing in my career, and so that's how I made my decision and stayed with the club for a long term.
Right. Moria Sana is by fans, he's called the Indian Ramos these days. It's not hard to see why they make that comparison. But interestingly, I want to let you in on a fact. We heard that recently Sana had been reading a lot of books, and in an interaction, of course, with Nilanjan Datta of the AIFF, he mentioned that he's reading Jamie Carragher's autobiography these days. Now, which is funny because Jamie Carragher, in his playing day, top defender, but he was actually the opposite of what you would call a ball-playing centre-back. So, Sana, what exactly are you learning from reading Jamie Carragher's autobiography? Because we don't want you to change your game. Right. You're excellent on the ball.
Right, but thank you for that. For me, it's about improving my game in every aspect that I can. So, if you see Jamie Carragher, one of his strengths was reading the game so well, understanding the game, reading the game, and helping his teammate as well. At the same time, a lot of interceptions. Before the things happen, he could sense it and he could avoid that danger, of conceding a goal or ending the opponent's attack. So that's something I learned reading his books, and the important aspects of understanding the game mentally and the preparation wise and how he reads the game and the opponent. So that is something I learned from him, reading his books or watching his video. And similarly, I follow Virgil van Dijk, I used to follow Rafael Varane. So they are all top defenders whom we can learn from, and as I said, I'm in a learning progress and I want to keep improving. So yes, I like reading and learning and stuff like that.
Sana, if I can ask you, growing up, one international defender and one maybe Indian defender that you idolized, you looked up to?
I was very small when I heard of the likes of Gormangi and Mahesh Gowli, but in terms of the playing style and the interception ability that Mahesh Gowli had was something which I learned a lot from. I could not watch a lot of his game or something, but whatever is there, that I have in me. And Gormangi, of course, being from Manipur and one of the best centre backs of India in the past, he was someone that we look up to because he was playing for the national team and one of the best clubs in India. So we looked up to him, and I learned a lot from these guys. And internationally, I think I like Sergio Ramos a lot, and I followed him from a long time. And yes, I still continue following him, and I still continue learning.
Right. In fact, why don't we throw that open to both of you as well, Brandon? The same question. Who was one international player you idolized while growing up, and one Indian player? And Anirudh after Brandon.
For me, when I just started watching football, I was very small, and that time I used to, like Bruno Coutinho a lot because he was the Goan and he was playing for Salmokas. Yeah. And I used to go to the stadium to watch the matches. And also the other player I would really like to watch was Baitul Bhutia. He was a great striker. He would score goals and just for fun. I used to love watching those two players play, and it would give me a lot of joy, and always wanted, I had that in my mind. I want to be like them when I grow up, when I'm play for the national team and play at the top level in I League, and obviously then ISL came to play in ISL. So yeah, as a kid I always admired these two players, and internationally it was David Beckham. Everybody used to speak about him, David Beckham. It was every time David Beckham, and I remember when I was just started playing football, just kicking the ball. I used to try to kick the ball like free kicks. Used to keep cones or some bottles and just try to hit the ball above the bottles, and just because Beckham used to be the great free kick taker, and yeah, it was Beckham for me.
Right. I mean, it's easy to see why you idolize Beckham, because since you've been a youth player, Brandon, you've gained this reputation for being a free kick specialist, and we can see that with the assists you've racked up in the ISL over the years. Anirudh, what about you?
So in Indian football, I love watching Eugene Bhai and Rolvin Bhai. Their game style was something that I really liked. Before that, only I heard about players. I hadn't seen many players. But when I watched their games, I just loved them. Yeah. And I just wanted, to play alongside them, to play against them. But internationally, there were like many players. But when I started watching, it was Ronaldinho. Obviously, I have zero qualities and zero.
No, don't do that.
But still, I love him. With what he brings to the game is something really beautiful.
You know what else is really beautiful, guys? I was watching Anirudh's goal against FC Goa in the 2019-20 semi-final first leg. And Moria, I wanted to ask you if you also made the same observation. Each time I watch that goal back, I feel like Anirudh's back leg is still turning. If you observe, his back leg has turned so much, it's as if he has the range of motion of a ballet artist. So it twisted so much. Did you feel that ankle at all the next morning, Anirudh?
No, not really.
I mean that was a fantastic goal. Brandon, you might have been on the pitch for that goal as well, right?
I was on the stand. I didn't play that match.
And I was watching.
But yeah, what a goal! It was a top quality goal, I feel.
And I was watching from the bench.
Great connection, and I think it's one of the best goals in the ISL I've seen.
How many times a day does Anirudh bring up that goal?
I think he can do that. I think he can do that even in his sleep.
I think talking about Anirudh, I think he has that quality. I think he can do it in every game like that. But depending on the situation, I think he has a great quality to kick the ball, and I'm really hoping that he scores a lot of goals like this for the national team and for the club as well. Not against FC Goa, but against different clubs. But yeah, I think he can score a lot of goals.
Yeah, Anirudh, can you just talk us through your process behind scoring that goal? Because it's kind of become synonymous with you. People identify you with that goal that you scored. I mean, you've scored other significant goals as well, including the one for the national team against Thailand in the Asian Cup. But just talk us through the process of that goal. When you saw the net, did you just feel like shooting at that time?
No, honestly, we were just in the training sessions. Every day we used to train, finishing and shooting with own coil, and we were like every day we used to do that. So it was just something which came up naturally. I just looked up and I don't know what came into my mind. I had the space and I just went for it, and it went in, and it was a great feeling because semi-finals versus FC Goa, we knew we had to score as many goals as we can, because we knew that second leg would be difficult for us, and it was.
Yeah.
Goa was, one of the teams who could, give us back those 4 goals easily. So it was just at that moment, whatever came to my mind, I just did that.
Right, and aren't we all thankful for that? Moria, what are your memories of that goal? Do you remember where you were when Anirudh scored that goal?
I was at work. I was producing the game, so yes, it was a crazy goal. But that match, what an atmosphere in Chennai, because fans weren't there last year, but that was the last season that the fans were there. What an atmosphere! I can't think of a better atmosphere in Chennai that day. Did that give you motivation just to see that atmosphere? Because I remember watching some of the videos of the team bus entering and all, and what a reception from the fans.
Yeah, it was, absolutely amazing. That was something which motivated all of us. When we were entering the stadium, just on the entrance only, it was blue, the smokes, the banners and the bands, they were just, there for just to cheer us, and it was something which I saw the first time in Chennai stadium, and we loved it, and we were, at that time only we were motivated, to give our very best. And that's what we did on the pitch.
Yeah, I mean, since we're speaking about Chennai, Anirudh, now I just want you to talk to me about the importance of Chennai in your football career. Like, what are your feelings towards the club, and what does the club mean to you? Because from being registered as a development player in your first season to then winning the ISL with them in 2017-18, and then last season you captained them as well. You've also got the most number of appearances for the club across all competitions. So just sum up your feelings towards Chennai and FC for us.
Honestly, I don't have any words, what to say, because I never thought like I would play at such a young age for them. Obviously, a season before that, I was supporting them versus
Right.
FC Goa versus Chennai FC, the final match. I was supporting them, and the very next year I signed for them. So it was just a dream for me, a dream come true for me that I signed the very next year. And they helped me a lot. Whichever coach came in, Marco was there, then John came, Owen Coyle came. They all helped me, and they just made me a better player. And obviously Shabir coach was there, helping me every day, just to teach me and help me how and what I need to do in my position and in my for this club, because it means a lot to me playing just for one club at starting my journey, starting my career in one club. It's a big thing, so I'm thankful for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad you mentioned the significance of Chennai and speaking about what clubs mean to certain players, because Brandon, after what seemed to be sort of a hop across many clubs earlier on in your initial career, you seem to have found a home in FC Goa, and it seems like you find yourself comfortable over there. You played in the AFC Champions League for FC Goa earlier in the year. Again, so what does FC Goa mean to you? And just talk to us about your experience of playing in the AFC Champions League as well for them.
Firstly, I would say FC Goa is my home. I've been there the past 4 years now. I obviously wanted to play the first season there, but it didn't happen. And then eventually, second season, I couldn't, because I had to play. Mumbai picked me up in the second season. Then third season, because of injury, I couldn't play. But the fourth season, they picked me up, and I was very, very happy that I'm getting the chance to play for my home team. And it was always in my mind, to play for that club, because the fans and the atmosphere they create there on the stadium was amazing. I went to watch few matches in the first and the third season. It was like giving me goosebumps. I want to be there on the pitch, and finally I was there in the fourth season, and it has been a great journey for me. FC Goa has been very helpful. The management, everybody at the club have been really good to me. I'm really thankful for them, for being giving me this opportunity, to be there and be one of their main players in the team. And now, and it's my fifth season with them, and I'm really looking forward to it, to have a great season, and hopefully, we can do something great in this coming season.
Right. It was unfortunate that you unluckily missed out last season on making the final, going out to Mumbai City FC in a penalty shootout. But I'm sure, like Anirudh and Sana over here, you'd be looking forward to a better season with your club this time around. Sana, you have in the ISL so far, you've played under coaches like Gianluca Zambrotta, Sergio Lobera, and most recently now Manolo Marquez for Hyderabad FC. Now, what have you learned under each one of them? And especially last season, if you could talk to us about last season, because it was the first season where you played consistently almost every game in the ISL.
Yes. I think even when I was in Delhi Dynamos, I played constantly until I got that calf injury, and I had to stay out for the 2 to 3 games before I got back for the semi-final games.
Right.
But yes, after that, at FC Goa, I wasn't a regular starter because there were 2 foreign centre backs, and also personally, I think I learned a lot of lessons back then about in terms of keeping myself physically fit and to keep improving and to keep doing the things as a professional, and yes. And at FC Goa, I learned a lot under Sergio Lobera in terms of, I really, from the beginning, my TFA days, I really like the idea of regaining the ball position, as a defender. It's just not about just blind clearances or getting the ball away. It's more important to, regain the ball position for the team, even if it's a header or even if it's a knockdown or something like that, That's something which I really liked, and I got this training when I was in TFA, and I continued that in Goa as well. And at Hyderabad FC under Manolo Marquez, that is something which we really value in the team, in terms of keeping positions and passing around, and options will arrive if we keep the ball and keep moving the ball around. There will be gap, there will be openings, there will be holes. So I think that is something I learned under Manolo Marquez, and I really enjoyed as a player doing that. So that really clicked. And Yeah, so as I said earlier as well, for me to decide my future at Hyderabad FC was much easier because of the playing style and because of the ideology that the club has, in terms of footballing terms, in terms of the way we play our football, and that suits my style as well. So it was an easy decision for me to continue at Hyderabad FC. And I look forward to improve a lot more because I know my peak years, my true potential is still ahead of me. And yeah, that's my focus now is to keep improving in each day when I'm in the national team and also in my club.
Yeah, that's wonderful, and no surprise that suits your style because I believe you used to play sepak takraw as a kid as well. You also mentioned this earlier in another interview. So Brandon, Anirudh, when you guys have three-a-side foot tennis games during training, how would you rate Sana over here? Is he any good?
Sana is good. He's good. I think Sana is one of the Indian players who is good with the ball. Who has good understanding, who has good reading of the game, and somebody who can who can rely on when he has the ball. I think even. I was with him in FC Goa. We were together, and I could see him improving every day, making good decisions with the ball. I think he's, I feel, the most comfortable defender in India with the ball.
Yeah, no surprise as well because if you play with the ball at a young age like Sana did. I'm playing a sport like sepak takraw, which requires intensive close control. It's no surprise that you carry those skills forward with you as you grow up as well. Am I right, Sana, in saying that?
It's nice of you to say that. Thank you. But yes, I like being with the ball always. So yeah, it's something that I really enjoy.
Right. Okay, we've also had Sahil Tavora listening in for a while now. Sahil, we've invited you to speak. Feel free to join in if you want to at any point at all. You also played with Brandon together at the Lusophobia games, so if you wish, you could share a few stories of you guys playing together. So we'll just wait on Sahil while he joins. But Maurya, now that you've observed both, you've observed Brandon, Anirudh, and Sana playing in the ISL through the years now. In your opinion, what is each one's greatest individual strengths? When you talk about individual qualities, what would you say are each one's greatest strengths?
I think one trait that defines all three of them is confidence. If you see all of them, the amount of confidence they have is something that I think this generation of youngsters have. It's just incredible to see their confidence. With Brandon, obviously, the skill and the trickery that he has and his pinpoint set-piece delivery. With Anirudh, it's just the way he can control the tempo of the game and just running things from midfield. And with Sana, again, as I said, the confidence, because generally with defenders, they say defenders mature slightly later, but for somebody so young to be so confident on the ball, and he's playing in a team which likes to play with the ball. It's not just lump it forward or anything like that. So in a sense, Hyderabad likes to build from the back, and Sana is a key player in that. And to see him so comfortable in that role, in that position, and also the national team. If you see the last couple of games where Sana played, just the sheer confidence of it looked like he belonged at the international scene. And I'd like to ask Sana, and actually all three of you, talk us through the emotions when you made your senior team debut. How was that when you finally walked out to the pitch?
I think for me, that is something out of the world. I mean, no word can describe that, because as a player, that is something which you dream of. In the gym, when you're training, even when on a training session with your clubs, and that is an aim, that is a dream that every player has, I believe. Which for me, in my case, that is something that always motivates me, to represent the country, to stand for the national anthem, to win games for the country. So when that happened, it was so real and amazing feeling. I think no words can describe that feeling. It's goosebumps when the national anthem, and it's an amazing feeling. Yeah.
Brandon, talk us through your India debut. How was that feeling?
That was a great moment in my career. I feel it was something that I was looking forward to since like 2-3 years before. But finally, I'm very thankful to God Srimad because he gave me that opportunity. like to be in the national team setup, and he gave me that opportunity to play. And obviously, my debut was like I really had tears in my eyes when I stood for the national anthem, and it was a great feeling. You cannot describe that moment, because it's something it's a dream when you're playing when you started playing football. It's like a dream to play for your country, and finally the dream came true, and it was really amazing for me.
And Anirudh, you've been playing for the national team for the longest. It seems like your debut's come years back, man, but you're still so young. How was that feeling?
I agree, Maurya. I agree.
Yes, that's right.
No, for me, whenever I wear the national team jersey and go to the ground and the national anthem is there, it's a different feeling. Every game is a different game, and it's a great feeling, to represent the country. But when I represented for the first time, I was happy. It was a proud moment for me and my family, because all those past years, I have been working hard just to, be there, be in the national team to represent my country in the senior level. Obviously, I had played the 16s, 19, 23, but playing for the senior national team is something different. And it was a really proud moment for me and my family, and I think I made them proud, and I'm happy about that.
Not just your family, Anirudh, you made everyone who's played a part and has had a stake in your journey proud, as is the case with each one of you over here. Now, I just wanted to wrap up. I want you guys to just tell us about the atmosphere in the national team camp right now as you prepare for the 2 matches against Nepal, and then subsequently, of course, the SAP Championship. How has it been so far in Calcutta? How have the sessions been? And has there been anything funny that's gone down over the last few days in terms of your sessions?
Yeah, I paid the bill for the dinner.
Oh, that's Brandon. Sana, can you testify to that?
No comments.
Because he has to pay now.
Because we're going to pay the next one. Me and Brandon and a few others.
But the camp has been really good in Calcutta. I think everybody came to the camp with a positive mindset. Everybody, worked hard in the past few days, and now we are really looking forward to this Nepal match. Everybody is positive. We are waiting for the other players to join us from the AFC Cup, ATK and Bangalore players. They will be joining us soon.
Right.
So yeah, we have worked in a very good manner. Try to be fit as much as possible, because we had this off season, and then we directly came here. Trying to keep our fitness level high. Everyone is working hard, and we have a session in the evening. So yeah, everything has gone really well. We are looking forward to going to Nepal and playing the Fernandez there.
Yeah, and Sana, what about you? Since you've been the most sort of recent entrant to the national team. Of course, you made your unofficial debut for the team in 2017 in an unofficial match against Bhutan. But you finally got your debut, recently. So how has the reception been so far? How have you gotten along with the players in the national team camp?
It's been really good because and also the players that we have here are very familiar faces. We have known each other from a long time, whether it's in clubs or in the national team before. Previously, we have always been together, so nothing new to me. And but yes, we enjoy the football that we play here in training sessions, and even during the match. You must have seen we like to keep the ball, so the players now that are in the national team are all very much comfortable with the ball, and that's the kind of style that we play here with the national team now. And we are all really positive, and I am sure that every game that we play, all the players, we know that we have to do our best for the country, and every game is important. So the next coming games against Nepal is equally important. It's a preparation for the upcoming SAF Cup as well as the Asian Cup qualifier. So we are all doing well, we are all preparing very well, and we look forward to the games ahead.
Right, as do we. Once again, thank you so much for doing this and joining us today, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure. Maurya, any parting thoughts you'd like to share with us?
Well, it's been great fun chatting with all three of you. All the best for the next couple of games and for the season coming up. Big season for everyone. Do well and have fun.
Thank
And
you
don't be
very
so
much.
diplomatic.
Thank you so much.
Give us more secrets.
Next time around. Thank you very much, Moya bhai, and
Thank you.
so much.
Thank you.